Everybody, we are back. It is Tape Don't Lie, your favorite Raiders podcast, breakdowns, video cast, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. It is your first time here. We love all the subscribers that we're getting. So make sure you guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons, what I'm saying, that could keep you up with Tape Don't Lie. And then make sure you follow us on Twitter. You got at the Mark John NFL. You got at BD Williams 18 on Twitter. So definitely appreciate every single listener that we have, and we appreciate you guys. It's been a rough last 5 weeks for us Raiders fans. So us everybody who enjoys the Raiders, it's been a rough 5 weeks. Let's just say that. We're basically another meltdown. We have another meltdown. It's officially meltdown time. It was almost fully melted. It's a little bit of melted iron, but the iron's gone now. It's melted. Everything's gone. They're in complete meltdown. It's not a good look right now, but we appreciate you guys listening, and we're here, and we might give you guys some draft content later on this, so get excited. But I mean, the season's not over technically, right, BD? All right, technically.
You tell me, man. You're the one that has all the scenarios,
Well, I mean, no,
mathematically, Raiders are not
Mhm.
technically out, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's like us Raiders fans have to hope all these teams
Yeah.
in the wild card race just completely melt down, just like the Raiders,
Yeah. So I mean, the only team we really can count on, guys, if we just go on history of our teams, is the Browns. So that's the only team we got on the countdown for a meltdown, just based on the uniform. I mean, there's nothing based on anything else besides that, not based on their team or any evaluation. It's just that they're the Browns. I mean, that's the only thing we can hope for. But because the Browns have to lose to the Jets, so that's a big ask. That's a big. I don't think that's gonna happen.
No.
I don't think that's gonna happen. So it was a tough loss. It was a tough loss. The defense just it was odd because it felt like everything switched. The pass defense didn't show up, but I'm sure BD's gonna go over. But the run defense was a lot better, so it was a little weird, kind of weird type of look on there. And then the offense, we had a new quarterback play after Carr went down in the first drive. Um, he made some plays, moved the football, scored points, and he kept them in the game and did everything you want from a backup quarterback. To be honest, I mean, he definitely earned his money. He definitely looked like he was a $7 million backup quarterback for sure. And so that was good. That was a good outlook, no matter how you look at it. I mean, if you have a starting quarterback and your quarterback goes down, you want them to look like Marcus Mariota. I mean, that's as good as you want to get from a backup quarterback. He did his job that game, in my opinion. But we'll go over it a
I
little bit.
haven't heard from all the people who were crying about how much money Marcus Mariota was getting paid. I haven't
Yeah.
heard from them.
Oh no, it's the same people that already flipped that he should be the starter. So
Oh, okay, I see.
yeah, they already flipped. He's the starter.
Is this? Here's what I never get.
Yeah.
Is this your money, fans? Why are you pocket watching people here? Like, it's not your money. Who cares how much money they're making? Like, come on, get out of here with that.
People pocket watch athletes though like crazy just because it's especially with football. I mean, basketball is different because basketball is so player centric, but football is team centric. So since it's so team centric, people like feel like they're a part of the team. Like, so I get it. They feel like they're paying the salary too, because football is more team centric. It's like I'm not a Derek Carr fan. I am a Raider fan. But it's like a lot of people are just LeBron fans. They just follow LeBron wherever they go. They're a Laker fan. They're a Cavs fan. They're a Heat fan. LeBron went to the Detroit. They be Pistons fans. That's what people are with basketball. So it's different. It's just different. I'm just giving you the perspective. I'm not saying I agree with it or not. I'm just saying. Playing devil advocate here, BD.
Look, I don't care how much money any of these guys make. I do not care.
Yeah.
Do they come and show up and they work hard? Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Mariota, I thought he looked great.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell us for sure.
Yeah.
If he looked great, I think you have a different opinion slightly. But as far as a backup quarterback goes, right?
Yeah. I mean, as a backup quarterback, yeah, he was awesome. I mean, as like if you want him to be a starting quarterback going forward, I think he's the same guy. So he's the same guy. And I'll admit, I mean, I'm not the biggest Mariota guy. I have another quarterback podcast that I do. And we've been doing that podcast for about 2 or 3, 4 years. And if Mariota listened to that podcast, I don't think he'd like me very much. So I will say that. So
There
I
was
mean,
an
if
element of, okay, now the defense has been their game
yeah,
plan is for Derek Carr, and all of a sudden now they're playing against a different quarterback.
yeah,
They're getting different plays that are not for, Derek Carr thrown at them, like all these zone reads.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, there's definitely an element of that. Look, if you're not practicing against a zone read all week, you're gonna get gashed at least a couple times. Like
yeah,
it's just gonna
yeah,
happen,
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I think that the bigger test will be if Mariota plays against the Dolphins, which is a very good defense,
yeah,
and if he has a similar performance, where you could, like, the effort. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
To
Yeah.
fight through some of those tackles, to get those
Hmm.
first downs, to chase down that guy when the ball bounced off of Zay Jones' hands and he
Yeah.
intercepts and he chased
Yeah.
down Chris Harris. Like, the effort was there. Gotta love Mariota. And I've said this. I said this early on. If you've been listening to us since the beginning, I said, if Mariota comes in, okay, all he has to do is just throw caution to the wind and just go ball out, and be the athletic guy.
It's all you had to do.
It's all you got to do. I thought it's a great opportunity for Mariota to come off the bench because he has a skill set where it's going to put defenses on skates a little bit if they're not ready for it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And that's exactly what happened. And I think that he's healthy too.
Very healthy, clearly.
He was clearly healthy. He had a lot of zip on his passes that I haven't seen in a long time. So he was healthy from that aspect. Like
that's what I love about it, because he's going up against guys who are not healthy. You know what I'm saying?
he was super fresh.
And
he was super fresh. And you could tell,
right?
Yeah,
right.
and you could tell when he hit that first pass, he's like, "Oh, okay, I
Back into it. Yeah,
I can still play a little bit, right? I can still play," because he was talking about after the game how it was like a confidence thing for him a little bit too, which I could see that.
Sure.
Which that's what I'm saying. Like to me, he's definitely starting quarterback in the NFL. That's what I think. That maybe that's the thing.
You're saying top 32.
I would say he's top 32.
A lot of people take that the wrong way. Like, when I say Nevin Lawson is a starting caliber corner in the NFL, you have 3 starting corners on every team. So what's 3? That's like 96 corners. So I'm saying Nevin Lawson is a top 96 corner in the NFL. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some people take that the wrong way. So yeah. Top 32 quarterback in the NFL, Mariota. I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely tell that. That's what I'm saying. Because that's what it looked like too. It looked like a team that was not ready for a starting quarterback.
Right.
Because it wasn't like it was like Mike Glennon coming in. This is the number 2 pick in the 2015 draft. He's had success in the NFL. He's lost his confidence.
Right.
And he came in there, and he's had his confidence back. I mean, that must be like on Gruden and all the quarterback room itself. I think it has helped build him up a little bit too. And so I think all those things factored in, and he came in and he was able to. That's what I'm saying. He's a good football player. It's not that crazy that he came in and played well, especially with a team that's not prepared for him. Because he's an NFL caliber starting quarterback, in my opinion. So. I mean, he's not. I mean, yeah, he is. He's an NFL starting quarterback, so he's going to come in there, especially with no game plan against him. He's going to play well, especially with the way John Gruden schemed it up for him a little bit too. So
why don't we get into it? Why don't you show the fans,
let's just get into
the listeners, the audience, what you're talking about here?
All right, so let's go ahead and get into Mariota's performance here. And like I said, he played well. He played really well. He came in and he did his job, and he kept the Raiders in this game, and he's put up points on the board with the defense that doesn't stop anybody, right? So let's start it off with his first pass, right? Which I kind of think that, like I said, this got him going, right? And John Gruden tried to start him off with the easy little read right here to Jalen Richard, a little quick out right to Jalen, try to get him going, little easy read. So you go ahead and once you get this going, you'll see that. Watch Jalen outside. So you see him open up to his right? Nothing there. He rolls out to his left. He does a good job. Like, he finds Foster Moreau, open up. That was a dime. Straight up dime. And that was his first pass of the game. And you could tell, okay, like that got hit the confidence going, and that got the team going a little bit too. Like, they're all okay. So this guy can play. So right. And once they realized that, I think it gave everybody a little confidence. The line played awesome today. I always want to mention that too. The line was awesome this game, and I was just a dime too. Dime opened up to his right, didn't see it, rolled out, made a nice play. So, and John Gruden made it really easy for him really early. So we got a go route right here to Darren Waller, and this is an easy read. I mean, this is kind of just step up, hit your back, hit the hitch, and you just throw it up, right? And Darren Waller, he wins off the line, but Mariota throws a great ball here, just dime. But what I'm saying, that's easy read, easy way to get him started. This is the first drive, and Mariota's good enough to make these reads, and I want you guys to watch him in the back end. This is what I'm talking about. He's an NFL starter quarterback, so watch him. He opens up, right? Holds the safety, gets his feet around, perfectly set, touchdown. That's what I'm saying. He is a starting quarterback in NFL, so
Beautiful.
it is awesome. Awesome stuff right there, right? And this is my favorite play of the game because the Raiders run split zone a lot. And John Gruden must have added this at halftime, but he added like a split zone read play right here. This is just awesome. Terrific, right? I love this play. And that could have been a huge play too, but I love it. And then you watch him with the zone read here too. Bam, making guys miss. Tough. Just what I'm saying. He's setting the tone. He set the tone with his teammates. They were like, okay, all right, Mariota. So yeah, and John made it really easy for him, but sometimes it was results over process. So what does that mean, Marcus? What does that mean? So we have a running quarterback. Sometimes he can miss something and it still be a good play, right? So we'll talk about this one right here. We got a 12 personnel. I don't know why John Gruden's having Jason Witten run a deep post route, but he is, and we got a mesh, right? So he's got the mesh open. He's at the back of his drop. He's got the deep post open too, right? But he passes both of them up. Okay, I don't know. I mean, if he hits Aguilar, I don't know what happens. He hits Witten, I don't know what happens. He passes them both up though. Still gets first down on 3rd and 6, right? So I mean, that's kind of some of the things you see with him. I mean, he's been like that his whole career, though. Sometimes he just misses things. He misses things, but he's still able to make up with his legs. Because if he hits Aguilar there, you know, there's nobody over there. So I don't know how far Aguilar is running, but he ended up getting 7, first down, right? So here's another one. This is the one he got a touchdown, right? He got a touchdown on this one, but you'll see here this is a nice, beautiful design right here for John Gruden. John Gruden was cooking a little bit this game, too guys. And this is beautiful. He got him right there, right? He could hit it back shoulder. He could hit it wherever he wants it because the defender's walling him off. So he has a back shoulder, or he could hit it right there. He doesn't take it, but he has Waller open there too. But I'm just gonna dive for a touchdown. Results over process, right? So there's the results. Touchdown. But I mean, it could have been a passing touchdown too, as well. But he's still able to make up for it with his legs. So sometimes, I mean, yeah, sometimes we see this. He's making plays with his legs, but he really didn't have to make plays with his legs right here on both those plays. It could have been even bigger plays if he was able to process a little bit in the pocket. And then we get to, I mean, when he's not able to get out of the pocket and he just processes everything wrong. And this is one of my favorite play calls I've seen John call, because this is 4 verts with a 4x1 against cover 3, right? And this puts the safety in all types of mess. Mariota had a couple of touchdowns on this one. So see the safety. If he goes down, there's Aguilar, right? If he goes up, they're flooding that side of the field, right? So and Aguilar is probably one-on-one with this guy who's already flat-footed, but he throws it way too early. I don't know why he threw this ball out of a clean pocket off of his back foot as soon as he didn't even really try to hitch on this one. It was just and I'm sure this really frustrated John, because I think John was like, oh my God, I got this dialed up. And Aguilar wasn't even ready for it. I think Aguilar was expecting to go over 23 for a huge play, right? And this is one in the goal line. This is right before his big run that we showed earlier. I mean, and this is an easy touchdown right here too on the spread option. Darren Waller's wide open. You just throw it to him. Touchdown, right? And those are some of the things he misses. And then and those are some of the reasons why he didn't work out in Tennessee. But I mean, as a backup, I really feel like he's top notch as a backup right here. And then this is the big play. This is the play that everybody's frustrated about, the call, right? But this is interesting. The spider wide banana, right? He adds a little pick play to it, right? So then you see Alec Ingold has a lane with this pick route, okay? And it's there if Mariota throws his football, but he waits, and then it's not there, right? So I know we killed John for this play call, which it wasn't the best play call in the world, but he added that pick play, and it probably should have worked if he threw this ball early and when he was supposed to throw it, right? So you'll see it on the backside. We'll stop it, right? If he starts his throwing motion right there, I don't know if he maybe angle breaks that tackle right. He has the angle. We don't know. We don't know, but it might be a different outcome if if he processes, if he rushes, has the right process on some of those plays. So those are just some of the limitations, even if he starts next week, that we're going to see. So yeah, sometimes we need to can't process on the field correctly. He's able to make up for it and just run and just get some yards, right? And I think he'll be able to do that. You know, I mean, I'm sure the Dolphins will probably game plan for him to stop him with some spies and stuff like that for sure. But there'll still be some opportunities where he'll be able to run if he can't process everything that he's trying to see in front of him, right? So it will be a problem going forward. That's where he's really limited as a quarterback, and I think that's always been his issue. It's not his talent. It's not whether he could make has the arm or whatever. And his arm started to die a little bit because of injuries, but we could see this game the zip was back, so he's got that arm that made him a number 2 pick is back. It's always how he read the field and how he saw things, and I I get it. It's just his first start in a new
I was just about
offense,
to say, yeah. I was just
right?
about to say.
First start
So
new offense, but
for the detractors, for the people
go
who are
go ahead.
saying, Mariota maybe gives the Raiders a better chance going forward, yada yada yada. You're saying no, it's not because this was the first time that he was playing in John Gruden's offense. This has been an issue of his entire career.
Yeah, and I'll break it down like this. The West Coast offense, right? John Gruden, West Coast offense. Okay. In 2018, his offensive coordinator was Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur came up under Sean McVay. Who did Sean McVay come up under? John Gruden, right?
Mike Holmgren, John Gruden,
yeah. I mean, he worked for John Gruden in Tampa. Sean McVay did, right? And the West Coast is the West Coast. I mean, there's some different, maybe some guys might call it different things, but the snack concept in the West Coast is the snack concept. The Yankee concept is the Yankee concept. And that's how he started them off early. He gave him some Yankee concept, gave him some snack concept. He gave him some concepts that he would understand from the West Coast offense, just because those are some of the basics that you see. Like he had one where he hit the snack concept has an alert with the dig route. So, it has the flat, and then it has the hitch in front of him, and then it has a dig route behind it. And he didn't hit it. He missed the throw, but he was able to make that read because he's run the West Coast offense before. So it's not that he didn't understand the things, and I think John understood that too. So John gave him the easier West Coast concepts that he could read those. But then as the game went along, I think John tried to open it up a little bit into the deeper West Coast stuff, and then he struggled a little bit to read those, just like the four verts. Like he's got to be more patient with that and let that play develop, especially with that coverage, And then so it's things like that I'm talking about. Like his process it's still there, and I was hoping when I watched it that wasn't the case. I was hoping that maybe that it would be different, and maybe he just peered out just bald regardless, but some of those issues were still there, and he was able to make up for it though. So
I got 2 questions for you. So
okay.
For the record, you're saying that John Gruden's play calling was just fine in those red zone situations?
I wouldn't. No, I'm not saying that. Because I don't like that. I don't know about you, BD, but how many times you've been watching NFL football? How many times have you seen 23 personnel from the 5-yard line in modern NFL football?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so
inside the 2, yes, right.
From the 5 though.
See, now I'm surprised they didn't come out in that personnel and then shift to like spread and get Darren Waller and Foster Moreau on one side, and then that could have been like a mismatch. I'm surprised they didn't try that, honestly. But yeah. So also, when you're talking about in the last episode, you were talking about predictability, and running Spider 2 Banana is about as predictable as it gets. He is famous for that play, John
Yeah.
Gruden. They go up against that play. I guarantee you they were ready for that play.
Oh, 100%.
Like, come on. So yeah, we talked about the predictability a little bit, and I think that is discouraging. I think obviously the results speak for themselves
Yeah.
as far as Mariota having a good game, the Raiders being able to be in the game even though they had a backup quarterback. It's clear that Gruden was calling some good plays,
Yeah, he
but then
was.
we get to inside the 5 yard line. It stops working for Gruden. I don't know what his deal is, man. He runs the same plays every time. It's really frustrating to
Yeah,
watch.
he's
So
he's really bad in the red zone, bro. It is
both can
really
be
bad.
true. John Gruden, the play caller, had a good game. John Gruden, the situational
Coach.
game manager, the strategy of the game that always seems to, in this second Raiders stint, that always seems to be leaving something to be desired, right? So both things can be true. He called a good game, but some of these, these game management things at the end of the game that separate good coaches from great coaches, we haven't seen John Gruden do that consistently enough in his, in the second stint as a Raiders coach for us to be like super confident going forward about,
Yeah.
this team taking a turn, and maybe being a playoff team in the future. So yeah. And then the other thing I was going to ask is, what's happening with the run game, bro? What's going on?
Well, a couple things. Rodney Hudson, Gabe Jackson, and Denzel Good are just not getting it done. I mean, Denzel Good is the worst out of that group, but Rodney Hudson and Gabe Jackson, they're not getting it done either. They're just not getting it done over there. Trent Brown's doing his thing. Trent Brown, he has this weird pass set. It's the most laziest pass set I've ever seen, but it
Very
works.
lazy. Yeah, it works.
Oh my god! Like I'm like, are you backpedaling? It's
It's
crazy.
not. It's very
He,
unorthodox, but he's just like, just let me get my hands on you, baby, and
he's been
it's all
playing
good.
awesome, bro. He's been playing fantastic. Him and Cole Miller are those are that's a tandem. They got to figure out. I mean, if they got to bring those guys back next year. I know a lot of fans who are kind of off Trent Brown. I think they could dub that contract. No, 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 no. They got to keep that tandem, Colton Miller and
No.
Trent Brown, and they got to figure out the inside because that's the issue is that they can't run the ball inside, and that's where he loves to run it. Also, though, Josh Jacobs is missing some holes, man.
Do you think that it's a trust thing?
I don't know what it is, but like what I'm talking about is when you get Mariota in there and you get them zone reads going. I was expecting him to like open up. I was expecting like those lanes because they got to try to figure out what's going on. That's what I was expecting during the game. I was like, okay, even when Mariota comes in, if he can't throw the ball that well, this is gonna open the world up for Jacobs, right? And maybe that might happen next week. I don't know, but you would figure with that zone read stuff. And just every time you ever seen a zone read play and they have a quarterback, that run games opens up. Like even when Tim Tebow was doing it, I mean, McGahee ran for like 1,200 yards or something like that. You see Gus Edwards looks amazing with Lamar Jackson. Those things open up for running backs too, and
And
it
I
was
know you
weird.
did not just put Willis McGahee and Gus Edwards in the same category, bro. Willis McGahee was a fantastic back. Take that back right now. Um,
There's one play I gotta call this one play. There's one play, man. Well, where if Jacobs hit the right hole, he might not score because I know he runs a 4.6, but that's at least a 70-yard run, 60-yard run. I mean, there's nobody back there. He picked the wrong. I don't know. He just was very hesitant. I don't know if he's hurt or it's something, but he missed a couple holes. But then when he did make the right hole, he was getting stuff in the backfield. So it's on him and it's on him and the line, I think. And also, they were ready for those pin pull sweeps. They ran like it twice. They blew those things up. Especially they tried to run it before halftime, and that -5 yards, and it kind of blew up that whole drive. They were ready for that. So the Chargers were ready for the run game too. That was the thing. And
I could tell they were like, no, we are not letting Josh Jacobs get loose on us today.
no, but it is kind of sad because they haven't stopped anybody else running the football. So it was kind of sad to watch. It's like how we got a zone read quarterback and Josh Jacobs doesn't have 130 yards. This doesn't make any sense to me. It wasn't working out. But that also goes back to John Gruden's kind of predictable in the run game too. Like they don't do no counters, they don't do nothing. It's just They haven't switched it up at all. They run the same run game over and over and over, and yeah. So
That's something I noticed last year. I was putting a piece together for Just Block Baby, and when I was going through their run game, I was like, okay, they only run inside zone, outside zone. They don't do like they hardly ever do anything else. So that stayed true this year. They're not they
yeah,
don't have
and the under center thing, bro, bothers me. It's like they're under center and they're in 22 personnel. They're running the football. It's like
every time.
every time. And the touchdown to Waller, I mean, that was in 22 personnel, but that's what he has to do. He has to switch it up. You got Darren Waller, just make it. I don't know. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. It's week 15. It's week 16. I mean, you figured he would have figured something out by now.
I mean, right. It's like if you were trying to set something up, that under center stuff. If you were trying to set something up to catch someone in a play action or something like that, the
Yeah.
time has been passed now to pull that out of the bag. But obviously that's not what they're going for. So I don't get it either.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Okay, yeah. All right. Anything else that you want to talk about before I go ahead into my segment here?
I mean, Darren Waller's amazing. I'll just say that. That dude, he he stepped it up. I think like some of the routes he was running, he stepped it up for Mariota. That was big time. That was showed that to me that he's an elite tight end. Like Mariota, that dude went out and he was like, okay, that means I gotta play. So he came to play. Like he's sideline catches. He was doing everything. So
That one when it was I think it was like 3rd and 4, and
mhm,
they were knocking on the door, and he comes across the field and he sits down in the zone.
yeah,
That's very great high football IQ.
yeah, he came to play, bro. He stepped it up, and
Here's what
he
I'll say. Here's what I'll say about Darren Waller.
yeah.
That is a user-friendly tight end. Okay, you don't have to have chemistry. Like, how many times do you think Mariota threw to Darren Waller in practice? You know what I'm saying?
But that's all he did the whole game, and I don't blame him.
I mean, I guarantee you they have not been throwing to each other in practice. And he was just like, okay, this is my favorite target already. Like that's how user friendly Darren Waller is.
Yeah, and I don't blame him, bro. I do not blame him. So,
Right.
yeah. All right, dude.
All right. Okay. So
Get
yeah, we can get into defense here.
All right. Cover 2 shells. Let's go.
Oh man, where am I? Okay. All right. So let's talk about the defense. So first and foremost, run defense was back, right? They clearly made it an emphasis, and I think that even though Nicholas Morrow was out, they used Raekwon McMillan. Here he is. He's doing this blitz that they do to stop the run, and it always gets great results, really, against the run. And Raekwon McMillan, he filled in great. I put a little Twitter post out talking about how well he was doing, and that was my favorite play of his, just blowing that guard up, that pulling guard up, and making the tackle. Here he is on the backside, just splattering that running back. My goodness, right? And really, it's clearly made an emphasis to stop the run, and I think that it also helped that most of their players who are in the front 7 are regular contributors. Now, pass coverage, Trayvon Mullen. Obviously, this is the elephant in the room. He's in cover 3. Here he is turning and running when he's got 5 yards cushion. Way too early, gives up that comeback route. Okay, here he is. He's in man coverage, or I'm sorry, he's in cover 2, and this is just him playing hero ball. He needs to cushion this corner route, but instead, on a 2nd and 15, decides to come up and play something short and just gives a huge window for Herbert to throw that. I mean, that's just pitch and catch. There's no effort or skill level that goes into that. Okay, for Herbert. I mean, it's just just throwing. And then here he is again. He's not getting back far enough, quick enough to cushion this corner route. Leaves a really big open hole for Herbert to throw that ball. And instead of forcing him to make a perfect throw, a lot of people said that was on Worley, but that's on Mullen for not getting back there and cushioning the corner. And then in man coverage, he struggled in man coverage too. Here, if you watch my breakdown of Trayvon Mullen, I talked about how they were doing these things like drags and crossers to get him off, and then they hit him with the counter. Keenan Allen fake the cross and break out to the sideline. Here he is in man coverage on a tight end, and he's plastering to him. He's plastering to his man. scramble drill, but he's not able to make a play, right? And again, this is very similar kind of situation, except no scramble drill. He's a man coverage, press man coverage. And usually we see Trayvon Mullen make these plays, and he just wasn't making them. It was not his day at all. And this is something that I talked about on my Trayvon Mullen film breakdown. He has a tendency to take this step forward, this false step. And when he needs to motor backwards, okay, and you're stepping forward first, it puts you off balance. And now he has to reach out and grab. When your technique breaks down, then you start doing things like grabbing, and he got called on a lot of pass interference, right? But it wasn't just Trayvon Mullen. Nick Witkowski also had a tough day. Here he is. He's in cover 6, okay? So he's playing on the quarter side. They're playing cover 4 to his side, and he's responsible for the first in breaking route. Okay, so he opens up, he reads who's the first in breaking route, that tight end. I mean, Hunter Henry got away with a little push off there, but usually we see Nick Witkowski contest those catches at the very least. Okay, here he is again, cover 6. Hunter Henry hits him with a little double move, gives up first down on a 3rd and short. Okay, so Nick Witkowski had a hard time, but I also want to talk about Daryl Worley. Okay, a lot of people were down on him because they thought that that cover 2 play was on him, but it wasn't. That was on Trayvon Mullen, and he came in and he filled in admirably. He's always been a good tackler. He made some good run stuffs for the Raiders. Okay, he's off the screen here and comes up, makes this tackle. So I think he filled in admirably, and then he was getting hot towards the end of the game. Here he is, he's in man coverage on Hunter Henry, and Hunter Henry pushes, he pulls, good no call there, breaks up that pass, and then here he is, on this blitz to blow this play up and help the defense get Justin Herbert and company out of field goal range. So I think Daryl Worley had a good game. I was a proponent of bringing him in as kind of like, okay, play man on tight end, maybe blitz him a little bit. He's always been good against the run. And I think obviously because John Abram and Jeff Heath were out, he was having to see more time in the zone coverages where we're talking about a corner here. So it's not going to be the best results, but I think he played just fine. And I was surprised at the hustle and effort that he had back there. But unfortunately, it just wasn't matched by the rest of the defense for the most part. Raekwon McMillan, Daryl Worley, these guys are fresh, haven't played a lot this year. They're healthy. And those were really the guys who were flying around making a lot of tackles. And you saw the guys who have played this entire schedule. They just didn't seem to have the same amount of juice. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But yeah, so as far as Marinelli's scheme, he likes calling zone. He likes zone. And you got Trayvon Mullen. He's better in man, even though he was getting beaten man. But some of his technical issues, they're going to get, put under a microscope when he is in zone. And they caught him quite a few times, right? I think he only broke up one pass that was thrown into his coverage, and it was that one that went where it was like, is it an interception? Is it a touchdown? In the end zone. But yeah, he had a really bad game. It was a terrible game for him to all of a sudden have the worst game of his career in that situation. So that was really the difference. We could talk about the Keyshawn Nixon thing. He was in cover 4, or he was in quarters on that side, and he gets a little double move, pass rushes, and get in there, and it's allowing Justin Herbert to sit back there and toss a deep one. But that's why Keyshawn Nixon is like the 5th or 6th corner on this roster, and the Raiders are just banged up at that position. So not much you can expect. But I honestly was shocked that their game plan was to attack Trayvon Mullen all game. And they threw to Keyshawn Nixon, like 3 times.
I know.
That was weird. I mean, and he gave up 2 catches for like 20-something yards and a touchdown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, it's like 2 catches for like 70 yards and a touchdown. But yeah, I'm shocked that they were like, okay, Keyshawn Nixon, he's like the 6th corner. No, we're gonna go after the number 1 corner, and they killed Trayvon Mullen. Like
I know
it was an ugly game for him. So. You could just imagine what the results would have been if their game plan was to attack Keyshawn Nixon all game,
Yeah. How did the pass rush look? What did you think about the pass rush?
I thought the pass rush in spurts had some juice. When the Raiders made a stop, I think the pass rush was doing good.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some different stunts that they have not run so far this year.
Okay.
So I thought that was cool. We'll see if that makes a difference in this upcoming game. And if it does, I'll highlight it and I'll show you guys, Raider Nation, the kind of Marinelli stunts that get drawn up. It's a lot more movement across the defensive line, past the pass stunts than what we're used to. And like they had a lot of so the pass rush was kind of getting there at some points, but
Hmm.
there's a lot of times when they were just letting these guys slip out of their hands. I don't know what is going on. Every single Raiders defensive end over like the last 3 years, they get the quarterback in their hands and the quarterback just won't go down. I don't understand it. All of them, all these guys. It's so weird to watch that. Um, you know, especially like when a coach draws something up and it works, but then the quarterback like just slips out of Carl Nassib or Max Crosby's hands and he
Hmm.
makes a and he throws the pass anyways. It's just like what can you do? What can you dial up better than that?
You can't.
Yeah,
You
but
can't.
the pass rush wasn't always there, and I think you're going to give up your yards in the passing game in
Hmm.
the fourth quarter, and especially overtime when you have defensive ends that are out, defensive tackle. So Malik Collins isn't playing. Cleveland Furrow isn't playing. Their rotation gets smaller. Guys have to play more snaps. They're going to get tired at the end of the game. So, best scenario would be all these guys are healthy. They can rotate in and out. And then when the fourth quarter or overtime comes around, you can have some fresher guys in there. And I think that the Raiders personnel wise weren't able to do that, which is why you saw that big play at the end of the game in Keyshawn Nixon's coverage. So,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I mean Herbert was dicing them up. It was just interesting that they were able to stop the run this week, and then they just got murdered through the air. So uh,
we said this on the pod. They can only do one or the other. All right. If the Raiders set their mind to it, they're going to give teams a hard time passing the ball, but they will get gashed in the run game, right?
mhm.
And if they try to stop the run, they will get gashed in the passing game. They
Yeah,
cannot do both. This team
yeah,
cannot do both. So we know
yeah.
that.
And the Chargers, they want to run the football. I mean, that's why they tried to lose that game. I don't know what they're doing at some points of the game, especially after the interception. That was a terrible sequence that they did. They just took the ball out of their best player's hands. You put the ball in your quarterback's hand and let him make some plays. This should have been passing from first, second, and third down, but they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna play for the field goal," and they missed it. So that's why I was most frustrating part about this game is the Chargers tried to charge and the Raiders just wouldn't let them. They just
Yeah.
would not let them charge. You gotta let the Chargers be the Chargers and just take the win. If they don't want to win the game, you gotta go win it. And that was the most disappointing part of the loss to me is that the Chargers tried the hardest to get the game, and then you know, and then on the back end they get the ball back after missed field goal, and then they just kind of lackadaisically let the clock run out and do QB sneaks, and I'm like, why are you doing a QB sneak with 20 seconds left? It was they just they tried their hardest to lose this game, and the Raiders were like, no, we're gonna lose, not you. So it was just
Yeah.
frustrating.
It's pretty heartbreaking, honestly. But
It was.
uh yeah. Really, like here's my thing.
Yeah.
Playoffs are a different beast, right?
Hmm.
The intensity level, the physicality of the game, everything gets ramped up.
Yeah.
Okay. The play calling, everything gets ramped up.
Hmm.
And it's tough for a team to arrive to the playoffs for the first time and do well.
Yeah. It is.
Okay. So I really wanted to see the Raiders get into the playoffs so that some of these young guys could get that experience under their belt
Yeah.
of what a playoff game is like.
Hmm.
Win, lose, or draw. Oh well, obviously win or lose because you can't draw in the playoffs. But like win or lose, just wanted to see them get that experience under their belt. And now it looks like we're gonna have to wait another year. But I'll go back and I'll tweet this out. And maybe I'll have it for you guys on the next time. But for a team in their first time getting to the playoffs, I really doubt many teams have made it to the Super Bowl, in their first time in the playoffs. Like that's a rarity. That would be an incredible rarity. I'd venture a guess that it has never happened or it's hardly ever happened.
Yeah.
That's what I really wanted to see this year, just get some playoff experience.
Hmm.
And not even Derek Carr can say he has playoff experience. Only Marcus Mariota has had playoff experience now. So,
Hmm. Yeah, and even yeah, because if the Raiders made the playoffs, I mean, even if they had the best offense in the league and their offense was scoring 35 points a game, if you play defense like that, you're not gonna win the Super Bowl because it's never happened. So if you're getting up 30 points a game, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good your offense was, anyways. They could have
So
snuck
I'll
in.
say this. I'll say this
Okay.
because I was trying to make that point during the breakdown. So Nicholas Morrow was out, Cleveland Furrow was out, but Raekwon McMillan clearly was ready to go in that third linebacker spot,
Yeah.
right? And
Hmm.
most of the time they're going to be in sub package anyway, so Raekwon McMillan only probably played like 25% of the snaps, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
And then Carl Nassib has been a regular contributor, and he stepped in to start in place of Cleveland Furrow. So you got a limited spot for Raekwon McMillan, and then a regular spot for Carl Nassib, but he's played in that. Now
Hmm.
you go to the back end, Keyshawn Nixon. He's played maybe 100 snaps this year.
Hmm.
Dallin Levitt, he's played 30 snaps this year, right?
Hmm.
Darryl Worley, it was his first game coming back, and he's playing safety, and he played one game of safety last year, and he's been on the bench since like week 4 or week 5. After playing with the Cowboys. So
Hmm.
you got all these new pieces in the back end. Obviously, it's not going to be a good result. So I don't know what we really know about Rod Marinelli's coverages that he's calling until we get John Abram back, Jeff Heath back. If it's Damon Arnett, if it's Nevin Lawson, one of like we got to get the actual secondary back because him playing, rotating in Darryl Worley and Dallin Levitt, and playing Keyshawn Nixon at corner the entire game. Like, what are you going to do there? These are literally like the very bottom of your roster
Yeah.
players that you're playing in the back end, right? Um, and of all those guys, the number one DB on this team had the worst game. So like, I don't know if we know about Rob Marinelli's coverages yet. I think I still think he has a chance to show us maybe that he is a better play caller than Paul Gunther.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna reserve my judgment on Marinelli's play calling until we actually see like a healthy secondary, which we might not ever see. So I don't know.
you know, yeah. I don't know what you're going to be able to judge that with these next couple of weeks, but man, yeah. I mean, your injuries are a killer. The injuries are a killer, but because even the Chiefs 2 years ago, Patrick Mahomes won the MVP, 50 touchdowns, but they had one of the worst defenses in the league, and then they ran into Tom Brady, and they couldn't stop Tom. It didn't matter what Patrick did. Patrick tried to. He tried his hardest to will that team to the Super Bowl, but it wasn't going to happen. I guess you could say that Deke Ford didn't go off sides, but he did. So they're bad defense. So, bad defenses do bad things, and it cost them the game. And even like the Seahawks are playing better defense now, but it started to catch up to them before they traded for Carlos Dunlap. I mean, that bad defense was starting to catch up to them. So, I mean, if you have a bad defense like that, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't matter how good this offense. The offense could have been the best offense in the league. It just we would have been 11-5 or 10-6, and then get bumped out anyways because we can't stop some. Because then you're playing the top quarterbacks in the league. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Derrick Henry or something, yeah. Right.
Derrick Henry, got to play Josh Allen again. He's super hot now. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, yeah, well, he was hot at the beginning of the season. Look what he did to the Raiders defense. So yeah. Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree that even if the Raiders did make the playoffs, with that defense, they're not going to have a good chance of doing much. But
Yeah.
again, I just want to reiterate, you got to get that playoff experience, for
Yeah.
these guys to see, oh, this is what the playoffs is like, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
You're right.
it's really shocking. It's shocking for me. Like when I went from playing high school football to college football, I was shocked at how much more physical it got. Okay. And
Yeah.
I played D1 AA. So at like FCS, like not even big time like Alabama. And I was just thinking, like when I was in practice, I was like, I can't even imagine what these Alabama linebackers are hitting like in practice because these guys, this is like shocking to me, And
Yeah.
then just imagine that jump from college, even big time college, to the NFL, and now imagine that jump from regular season to the playoffs. Like it's a jump. It's a big jump.
Hmm.
Some of the contact, some of the physicality, and it's really about the teams who can just outlast it and out tough it. Like that's
Yeah.
what it's about. And that's really what I wanted to see, like the Jonathan Abrams and the Trayvon Mullins, Cleveland Ferrell, Max Crosby. I wanted to see them getting that playoff experience.
Yeah.
Derek Carr getting some playoff experience under his belt. Because like what are the chances that they would win with this defense? It's
Yeah.
very low,
Yeah.
obviously. But
Mhm.
now we have to wait another year to even see if that's a possibility, most likely.
Yeah.
So
Unless the Browns choke. That's what, 'cause that's our only hope, man. Is the Browns choking?
Browns have 9 wins or 10 wins.
They got 9 wins. They'd have to
Oh,
lose
and
out.
we have the tiebreaker. We win. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. It's a possibility.
It's our only
It's a
hope, man.
possibility.
Only hope.
But some other scenarios would have to happen too. Like,
Well, they got to
Browns
beat
would
the
have to
Dolphins.
choke.
They got to win next week for sure.
But
One.
no, but Browns would have to choke, and it would probably have to be like Ravens also.
The Dolphins have to
lose
choke
one.
too. But the Dolphins possible because if Dolphins lose this week, they play the Patriots, which is possible they could lose. And then if they play then the Raiders beat them next week, and then they're both 8-7. But
The tiebreaker.
it's the tiebreaker. But I mean, we would still have to depend on the Browns choking.
Yeah,
which
right.
I mean, the Browns could lose to the Giants. Giants play really good defense. I'm just saying they play really good defense. It's more about the Jets game, or they lose to the Jets. That's kind of like
to miss out on the playoffs.
Yeah,
their fans would be sick.
That's what I'm saying. But that's experience. They would be like,
I'm not holding my breath for that.
I'm not holding my breath on that either. But
yeah. So you're saying there's a chance, is what you're saying?
Well, of course. I mean, they're not mathematically out, but I mean, losing that game, man, was tough because that's what I'm saying. If they win that game, they're actually not in a bad spot because especially if the Dolphins lose this week, they wouldn't have been in a bad spot. So that's why it was big. I mean, that's why he probably should have went for it on 4th and 5. But I don't know how much Gruden trusted Mariota at that point. Especially when he missed some of those reads that I was showing. Like, I really think he was pissed after that 4 words because after that play call, he was like, I got this dialed up. The safety's not going to make a decision. I got touchdowns everywhere.
It's so rare, too, that we see, like, a tough formation to line up against. 4-by-1, they had a bunch and then a wide receiver all the way out there. So it's quads against a cover 3 team. Like, they're sweating back there, like, thinking about, okay, what's going to happen?
Because all the releases, like all the rules they have, it would have been
right.
Yeah, I'm sure John was pissed.
It's so rare that John Gruden even does something like that, and then for the quarterback not to execute it, it's like, oh god, Raiders fans.
He had to be upset, man. He had to be upset because there's touchdowns everywhere at that play. I was like, oh my god, this is a great play call. He flooded Casey Hayward's side, so Casey Hayward had to decide like, who am I going to guard? Because if I go with Zay, then maybe Brian Edwards comes behind me. If I stay with Brian Edwards, then Zay goes this way, and especially if the state, bro, that play call, I was like, wow,
yeah.
Because it's funny how that game was going, right? Like he kept it really simple, but then once Mariota started going, he was like, "Oh, okay, maybe you can play a little bit," and then he wanted to see what he could do too. I think a little bit. I think he wanted to. I think it was a little bit of a test for him as well. I think he wanted to see what he could. Oh, I'm gonna open it up because even that red zone play that he ran, he never ran that with Derek. That red zone play that Mariota missed, and then he ran it in. He's never run that play with Derek. I never seen it. I never seen that before. So it's just like the 4 verts that I never seen that before with Derek either. So he gave him some interesting plays. Like I think he was starting to feel himself as a play caller a little bit. I think too, because he was dialing it up.
Or he has called those plays before, and Derek Carr has checked out of them.
I don't know that 4-by-1 though. Maybe in the goal line. That 4-by-1 though. I've never even seen them really line up it like that with a bunch and a guy outside like that.
I haven't seen that either. Yeah,
I haven't seen that either. The red zone, maybe you're right.
If I'm a defensive coordinator in high school and I see that formation, I'm calling timeout immediately.
It's true, man. Because that was tough. Because let me say, if he waited a little bit, he had Aguilar with that safety. The safety was like the 23. He was ready to start just sprinting. He saw it too, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, he threw it too early." Oh man, that would have been 6 for sure. But yeah, So I think after that, and then some of the other misses, and then he almost did a pick in OT because he started the game 14 of 19, but then he finished 3 of 9 for 26 yards. So
Yeah,
he uh he slowed down a lot. So I
slow
think
it down.
John got a little wasn't as confident with him. But even if he did call those plays in the red zone, he probably would have called that dumb double jerk play. So that's his go-to. This is go-to with the game on the line, 2 by 2. He would have called it. So I mean, and it probably wouldn't have worked. So
You
we would have
hate
been
that
mad
play,
anyways.
and
And
I
I would
love
have been
that
mad by
play.
myself.
So
Everybody's mad at
yeah,
Spider White Banana. I would have been mad by myself at that last play call. Everybody would have been trying to break it down some
right.
different way. Like it just didn't work. I would have been pissed by myself in the corner. So yeah. So you guys should be. He would have. I
Well,
swear, if Derek was in that game, he would have called that in that situation on that 3rd and 5. He would have called that double jerk 2 by 2 play. Would maybe he had the post. Maybe it's the post. Maybe it's the corner. I don't know which one it is, but he would have did it. That's like I
right.
think that's his favorite play.
Yeah, he loves that play.
It's bad. Anyways.
Um, yeah. Anything else you want to leave with the listeners?
No, man. No. Oh, we gotta go. They gotta go beat the Dolphins. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see. Maybe just have a better record than last year. How about we do that, guys? Let's just do that. Even
Yeah.
if it's 2 wins, let's show some progress. Right?
Right.
And and then since you show some progress, and you maybe show that you could have a winning season, right? Yeah, maybe you
Yep.
have a winning season. Maybe next year you could actually go for the gusto. I've had enough of these first round picks. We've had enough. We got 5. We have 5 in 2 years is a lot, and I think it's time to feel like maybe these first round picks that we have, we can like make some deals and try to make something happen. So that's kind
Right.
of my viewpoint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's it for me. I think I said my piece here.
Okay.
Um, Raider Nation, we're here for you. This was tough for me to go through the tape. I was, I had to man up and just do it. Didn't want to let you guys down here,
Mhm.
even though I really didn't want to watch it. But that's what we're here for. We're here
Yeah.
every week, bringing you the best breakdowns on YouTube for Raiders fans. Make sure you follow my guy Marcus Johnson at the Mark John NFL. You can follow me at BD Williams 18. We're both on Twitter. We're active on Twitter. You'll see some, exclusive content on Twitter.
Hmm.
So make sure you follow us. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe button. You're gonna get a little notification. Okay, it's gonna pop up on your phone. It's gonna say "Tape Don't Lie, Just Drop," baby, and then all you have to do is just sit back and relax and watch it. Even though it probably won't be very relaxing, but hey, if you're Raiders fans, you're like us. You love the pain. So
Yeah. Yeah.
make sure you hit like. Make sure you hit subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out, Raider Nation.
Peace out.